Welcome to your Flower Power Color My Cookie kit. I've gone ahead and I've unpacked everything. Let's take a look at what you have in the kit. So the first thing you'll see is a set of instructions with a new design and a QR code for this video. We have a set of sprinkles that will come in these little baggies now, and we will have 2 little cups, one for water and one to pour the sprinkles in, 2 paintbrushes, and then we have 6 cookies. We have 2 vans, 2 flowers, 2 roller skates, and then we have our palette cookie, which has a new design, just like that, which is the design of a painter's palette. A bag of blue royal icing, and a set of gloves. And then from home, you will need a paper towel and a pair of scissors. So the first thing that we need to do is wash our hands. So if you have not, please go wash your hands, and we'll pause this video and I'll see you in a second. Okay, so I'm gonna put my gloves on first thing. And then, to get set up, I'm going to take my sprinkles out of the bag and pour them into the cup provided. Okay, I'm going to put my bag over here. Okay, and then I'm ready to go. So again, the first thing that we're going to do is, again, we just want to, the first thing I always do is take a little bit of water and put a dot of the color next to what I'm working with. These colors are a little different than they've been in the past, and they're a little bit easier to see what colors they are. But I just want to make sure I remember. Okay. So the very first thing I'm going to do, again, is to flood the cookies with the blue royal icing. So I'm going to cut a little hole on my bag. And again, we want to do this part first for the wheels, and I'm going to do the wheels and the window on the vans. We want to do this first before we paint, because if we get any sprinkles on the white part before we paint it, they'll just brush right off. So I'm going to pour my icing out of my bag slowly. I'm using just a little bit of pressure. I always start going around the edge first, then towards the middle. Want to make sure that we have no holes, no bare spots. And then I'm just going to take my sprinkles, and you can either tap them out like this, or you can pick them up. And so I like to do it this way. You pick them up, and then the excess fall right back in. If you hold the cookie at an angle and sprinkle them on, and the extra sprinkles will fall right back into the cup. So I'm going to do the wheels on the roller skate too. So I'm going to flood the blue onto the wheels. And all the way to the edge, towards the middle, fully covered, no holes, and then take my sprinkles, sprinkle those on right there, all the extra fall back in. And we're good to go. We have our wheels, our kind of disco-y wheels there. Okay, so I'm going to let these dry, and I'm going to move on to my flour while the wheels on the roller skate and the van dry. If you'd like to spend a little bit more time on this step, we'll pause the video here, and we'll see you in just a minute. All right, so we're going to move on to the flour cookie. And I'm going to start by painting the very center of my flour pink. So I'm going to get water on the brush and then get the pink color mixed in. And we're going to paint, I'm going to paint just the center of this cookie pink. And I'm going to show you that you can also add sprinkles to the watercolor painted part. So this will also stick. So we've got some sprinkles in there. So I can go ahead and you can see that this will also stick. And we don't have to wait. We can continue right away because there's no icing that's trying to dry in here. So I'm going to continue, and I'm going to alternate my colors on the petals. So I'm going to go with more pink here. I'm going to go right here in the middle. Again, I'm taking some broad strokes from the outside of the petal to the inside. And I'm going to count. So I've got pink, and then I'm going to go orange and yellow, and this one is going to be pink. So on the opposite side, I'm going to go pink again. I want to do all of the pink ones first, and then get my brush clean and go with a different color. That's going to help not mix the colors too much. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my next petal, and I'm going to do orange. I'm going to get my water in there and then mix the color really well. I'm going to kind of work it in there, work that water in there, get it wet to activate the color. We can go ahead and paint. Again, getting nice broad strokes from the outside to the inside, and then I can see that directly, if I'm looking at it myself, to the right of the pink is where the orange is, so I can go all the way over here, and I look to the right of my second pink petal, and that is where I'm painting orange. If I really care about it being alternating. Okay, so I've got that done, and now the only two available spots left, I'm going to do yellow. So I've got to work this to get the yellow activated. And there we go. Okay, so I've got the yellow painted. I'm going to get one more here. Painted. Okay. There we go. And now I can go ahead and do the purple. So I'm going to do purple on the outside here, on the outside of the flower. So I'm going to get the water in here, really activate the purple. Then I can start painting the outside of the flower. Okay. I'm taking take time to paint the edges too. We want to make sure to paint not just the top, but we're going to paint the edge of the white as well. Get all the way to the edge. So when I look at it from the side, I can see it's colored. You don't see the white. All right, I'm going to go ahead and finish this. If you would like to spend more time on this step, we'll pause the video here and we'll see you in just a minute. All right, so I'm going to go back to the van really quick. I'm going to take my blue icing and I'm just going to do the windows. So I'm just going to flood inside this area, starting on the edge and moving towards the middle. And I'm going to pump the bag up and down just a touch to pop any air bubbles. And I'm going to set that to the side and let that dry. And we're going to go ahead and work on the roller skate. So I'm going to paint the roller skate yellow. So I'm going to get the yellow in here. I can start going. I'm just going to paint the whole body of the roller skate yellow. And I'm starting on the kind of on the inside, working my way to the edge. And I'm going to paint, I'm going to stop at this line. I'm not going to paint the stopper part yellow. I'm just going to paint the body of the skate yellow. Okay, so I'm going to go back and do the edges. Make sure I get those nice and colored. All right. Okay. Okay. Now, I think that I'm going to make the stopper purple. So I'm going to paint purple right here. A contrast. And the back of the roller skate, I'm going to go with orange. Get the orange really on the brush there. The back there and paint the sides. Okay. And laces. Oh, laces, let's do the pink for the laces. All the colors on there. All right. Pink laces. Okay. So we have our roller skate. We're going to do one more little bit of detail, but I'm going to let this dry before I do that. So we're just going to set this to the side and go back to the van. Okay, so for the van, actually, I'm going to pause the video here, so if you want to work on the roller skate a little bit more, you can. We'll see you in just a second. All right, so now we're going to move on to the van for the body, and I'm going to take a bag of white, and first I'm going to pipe on some lines. We're going to do a tie-dye effect on this, and we need to use the white first because the white will prevent the watercolor from bleeding together. So I'm just going to layer a little bit of white on here. Then I'm going to start mixing in color. So I'm going to get the pink on here. And just kind of start swirling it on there. So the white royal is going to give this a little bit of body. And it's going to prevent bleeding together, making it turn brown. So I'm just going to do a few different spots of pink. And I'm going to layer in yellow here. So I'm going to start doing this. You see how they're kind of blending together? They're not bleeding. So I'm not being too precise. I'm just trying to get the colors mixed. So I'm just gonna kind of work it and then leave it. If you work it too much, then they will start to muddy and blend together. So I'm just gonna go over here with a little bit of yellow. Now I'm gonna take some purple. I'm gonna go next purple. We wanna do like a darker color to get some contrast in there. So I've got my purple in here. And then you wanna be kind of quick with it. The purple will make things brown. Just gonna get it in there, swirl. A little bit more purple. Okay. Okay. And I'm gonna go with back to purple here. I'm just gonna paint the rest of the body while this dries. Okay. A little bit more. So you can see that this, I'm gonna mix that in a little bit. Okay, so we got our watercolor effect here. Now I'm going to go with bold colors to paint the rest of the body. Okay, so we got my yellow. I'm using up on the front. Purple on the bottom, and I'm going to go with the pink on the back. Okay. And then for the center, I'm going to do pink. And actually, I'm going to alternate. I'm just deciding right now. I'm going to alternate. So I'm going to go pink here. And then I'm going to do some orange because I haven't done any orange on this one yet. Some orange here. And orange here. So we've layered in a lot of water and a lot of color. So this one, we're going to be very careful to let it sit over there. Move it very gently. And it's going to take a long time to dry. So we're just going to leave that there. So you want this all the way finished. All right, and then we're going to do one last thing to our roller skate. And that is I'm going to take my blue royal icing and I'm going to make a little heart on the body here. So I'm going to pipe here. And when I pipe this, when I'm making an outline, I'm going to have the royal icing, a little bead coming out of the bag, and I'm going to put that down on the cookie, and then I'm going to get a string of it coming out above, and then I'm going to lay that down as I go. You don't want to have the bag really close to the cookie and be pushing it out that way because that is harder to control, and you can see that it comes out unevenly. So I have a little bit of royal coming out of the bag, and then I'm pushing and lifting the bag at the same time to get a little string, and then I lay it down. So I'm going to do that here again. Okay, so I've got my little outline, and you can let that dry for a minute or two before you start to fill it, and that will give it a little bit of texture so that it won't start to run everywhere. This royal is pretty stiff. It's stiff enough that I can flood right now. So I'm going to go ahead and flood right away. And that will make it so that the outline and the middle come together and you don't see the outline too well. And that's kind of what we want. So there we go. So I have a little heart as my final detail. I hope you enjoy this set and have fun painting the Flower Power Color My Cookie set. And as always, the best part about Color My Cookie is eating it. Thank you.